What's up, guys? These days, in the college admissions process, a large part of success is actually about standing out from the other applicants in your year. And so, the best way to do that often is to create an emotional connection with the admissions officer. Now, the best way to do that, since you can't actually talk to the admissions officer in most cases, is actually through your college essay. And so, in this college essay series, what I'll be doing is actually going through successful college essays that other students have used to get into some of the top colleges in the nation. My name is Johan Zhang, and I'm one of the co-founders here at CollegeFind. And specifically today, I'll be reading an essay that a student that we work with used to get into Harvard. The prompt that Harvard asked essentially was, what would you want your future college roommate to know about you? And so obviously this student had other things in their profile that made them successful as well. It wasn't just the essay. But I think that what we want to do today is read through the essay and then talk through a little bit about why the essay was effective in getting them accepted. Hey Rumi, life is full of contradictions, but mine play out big. My two happiest places are in my room, coding away in the dark, and outside in the sun, communing with nature and friends. Technology and nature do not always get along, but they seem to be two of my closest companions. Oddly though, when I'm invested in one, I never crave the other. My life thus far has ranged from founding an internet startup to attending a school in the woods of Maine, where I lived in a powerless cabin. The middle ground need not apply. I don't think I'm alone in standing as a sum of contradictions. A lot of us are amalgamations of interests, quirks, and yes, contradictions. None of us totally make sense, which actually makes complete sense. Applying this principle to understanding people, I have forged many deep friendships. Take Chewonki, a semester school tucked in the Maine woods, where students live in waterless, wood-heated cabins and study intimately in classes of 5. The disconnectedness of the place is precisely what appealed to me. I spent 4 months of my life at Chewonki, totally unplugged. The venue was about as rustic as possible. If we didn't stoke the fire at night, our Nalgene's froze. This is a far cry from my room at home, a wasteland of displays, external hard drives, USB hubs, and a small testing server. Out in the wild, though, conversations with friends were never interrupted with pings or tweets or tritones. It was such a lovely lifestyle. This throwback existence was a heightened version of what I'm always like. Quite the opposite of what you might expect from a techie. While I love producing technology, I do not always love using it. When the movie theater asks me to silence my phone, I don't flinch. It has already been powered down and stowed away in my pocket. I've come to enjoy the feature in all its cinematic beauty, not to chuckle over a friend's latest Snapchat. I am also a notoriously terrible texter. In order for me to send a semi-coherent text, I need to take a break from everything that I'm doing. If not, the other person receives pure gibberish. Or worse, I walk into walls. But if you want to stroll with a Bluetooth headset in your ear as you tweet with your thumbs and text with your toes, I'll love you no less. That said, I want to make my mark in technology. I have always been tinkering with computers. More than that, however, I've always tried to identify ways technology can better our society. After my math teacher posted answers to a review sheet on the classroom door, I saw a student tear them down. Motivated sheerly by the curve, the student went against her better judgment. As a witness, I was frustrated with how competition sometimes drives good people to bad extremes. In a competitive environment, students often trade personal grades to gauge their performance. I understood the practical reasons for sharing grades in person, but hated its cultural implications, which created a distorted form of competition rather than fostering a spirit of friendship and productive collaboration. Gradepol.com, a project which has seen both countless hours of my time and countless failures, is my direct response to this phenomenon. Gradepol allows students to compare grades, but anonymously. Working on Gradepol transformed my understanding of what productivity entails. My lofty intellectual ambition was underscored by a year's worth of menial but practical tasks. Coming up with the idea was the easy part. Executing it proved to be the real challenge. I am not relaxed, however, unless I am racing around to produce. Like I said, I'm a contradiction. Whatever your contradictions are too, I'm right there with you. Why was this an effective essay? Well, the student uses really vivid language, talking about the time when they were in Chewonki in Maine, or talking about typing with their thumbs and texting with their toes. Right? That's a very interesting way to describe something otherwise pretty normal, right? And the sort of decision to use contradictions as the frame to explore the different facets of the student's personality is also very interesting. If you think about it, talking about silencing your phone in the movie theater is not really something that you might expect to be in a college essay necessarily, but it makes sense in context because they're framing it as like an example of how they are such a contradiction, right? This person founded an internet startup while they were in high school, yet maybe contradictorily, they are also somebody who never uses their phone while in the movie theater, right? So the idea is that they're using this contradiction to frame, or this idea of contradictions and how they're a walking contradiction to frame different parts of their personality. And maybe showing a little bit of sort of empathy for the reader as well, because they acknowledge that most people in general are contradictions, yet that's okay. That's sort of what makes us interesting humans. So if you're looking for more guidance on how College Finder can help you with your Harvard essays, or maybe even essays for other schools, check out our essay breakdowns page, where we actually write detailed guides on how to tackle each of the school's prompts. These guides are meant to just kind of give you a sense for how to think about writing responses to these prompts. And if you're curious about other essay tips, we also have a lot of posts on our blog that kind of talk about what's the best way to kind of navigate the college essay process. And so if you're interested in those, we've linked both of those resources down below in the description, so be sure to check those out. If you guys have any questions about what we covered today, feel free to chat them in the comments below, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. My name is Johan Zhang, and best of luck in the college admissions process.